Good afternoon, everyone. We are going to start our webinar. And it's a true pleasure to welcome all of you today, especially our Maris family, the brothers, the Maris Laity, our students, and all those who are dedicated to ensuring the safety and well-being of children and young people. No matter where you are in the world, we are united by our shared commitment to protect and empower the most vulnerable in our society. As we come together on this important day, we also celebrate Safer Internet Day and remind ourselves of our collective responsibility to create a safer digital world for children everywhere. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Brother Nino Pizarro, Assistant Director of the Secretariat for Education and Evangelization, and I'll be your host for today's webinar, Safeguarding Innocence, Strategies Against Online Child Exploitation and Abuse. This event is an opportunity for us to raise awareness, but more importantly, to take action in protecting children from the dangers they face online. As we begin, let us pause for a moment of prayer, asking for God's guidance and blessings, especially as we come together to focus on this crucial issue. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Loving God, we come before you today with hearts full of compassion for the safety and well-being of children around the world. As we gather for this important conversation on safeguarding innocence, we ask for your guidance in addressing the dangers of online exploitation and abuse. Inspire us to create a world where every child feels at home, a place where they are cared for, loved, and protected. Help us work together with courage and compassion to ensure that all young people can grow, learn, and grow in safety or develop in safety. May your spirit guide us to build communities where justice, love, and protection are a reality for every child. Amen. Saint Marcelin Champagne,
Pray for us.
pray for us. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good morning once again. In today's world where children's lives are more connected to the digital space than ever, protecting their innocence from online dangers is more urgent than ever. This event, organized by the Secretariat of Solidarity, Collaboration for Mission International or CMI, and Maris Foundation for International Solidarity or FMSI, in collaboration with Missy and Cara, brings together experts, advocates, and the Maris community to discuss how we can empower children to protect their rights and well-being from online exploitation. Our goals for today are clear. First, to raise awareness about the risks children and young people face online and discuss practical strategies to prevent exploitation and abuse. Second, to empower children and young people by emphasizing the importance of their role in protecting their rights and promoting self-defense. And third, to get acquainted with comprehensive safeguarding systems that address online risks, ensuring a well-rounded approach to child protection in our communities. Now, let me provide a brief overview of today's session. In a short while, we will have Brother Ken MacDonald, FMS, the new Vicar General of the Maris Institute, and FMSI President, who will speak about the Maris commitment to child protection and our ongoing fight against abuse. Next, Ms. Agnes Reyes, a lay Maris from the Philippines, will introduce online sexual abuse and exploitation of children through a video presentation highlighting self-protection and children's protagonism in safeguarding their rights. Following that, Ms. Barbara Pinpound Ferreira, lay Maris from Brazil, will present the Defend the Sick campaign, which empowers children to take a proactive role in their protection. Then Ms. Monica Llerena, lay Maris from Mexico, will present the survey results on teenagers and young people's perceptions of safety when interacting online. Afterwards, Ms. Valerie Philpott, Safeguarding Advisor of Missy Ankara, will share insights on building comprehensive safeguarding systems to address online risks. Finally, we will conclude with closing remarks from Brother Diego Sawadsky, Assistant Director of the Secretariat of Solidarity and CMI. We are so delighted to have such a distinguished group of speakers with us today. And we sincerely thank you for their time, thank them for their time and generosity. And we look forward to the insightful and meaningful presentations ahead. Before I give you the first speaker, just a quick reminder that this event is conducted in different languages. So kindly choose or select the language channel you prefer to hear the live translation from the translation button of your Zoom toolbar at the bottom of your screen. So if you need help, feel free to message us in the chat box. And please stay until the end of this event and for the group photo opportunity. Thank you. Now I'd like to invite Brother Ken MacDonald, Vicar General and President of FMSI, to formally welcome all of us and share the Maris Institute's commitment to child protection and the steps we are taking to prevent abuse in all its forms. Let us welcome Brother Ken MacDonald.
Thank you very much, Nino. First of all, thank you very much for this opportunity to speak with you this afternoon or this morning or this evening, wherever you are in the world. I wish to welcome you all. And in being here, it does mean we have this shared belief in the welfare of children and young people, and it's very much at the heart of our mission. So thank you all for that commitment to the welfare of children and young people. It is truly a privilege to be with you today as we gather for this important occasion, Safer Internet Day, a day that reminds us of our shared responsibility in creating a digital world that is safe, inclusive, and empowering, especially for children and young people. Today, we shine a light on the urgent realities faced by millions of young people online. In 2023 alone, there were more than 300 million cases where children fell victim to online sexual exploitation and abuse, a number that tragically is still rising. And as new technologies emerge, such as generative AI and extended reality, so do the risks for children and young people online. Threats like financial sexual extortion, online grooming, and the spread of self-generating sexual content continue to evolve, demanding urgent action from all of us. And amidst these challenges, we gather here not just to acknowledge the problem, but to be part of the solution. This event is an opportunity to learn from the experiences of Marists around the world, particularly from our fellow Marists in the Philippines and in Central America. Their stories are inspiring, and they have taken bold steps to protect and empower children. The OSAEC project in the Philippines is a testament to our commitment to challenging online sexual abuse and exploitation. Also, the Defender-se program, which originated in Brazil and has expanded significantly across South and Central America, is giving children and young people the tools to defend themselves, to be active agents in their own protection, and to claim their right to a safe digital space. Today, we come together as a global Marist family to reaffirm that our mission is to children and young people goes beyond protection. It is about empowerment. We must not only shield children from harm, but equip them with the knowledge, skills, and confidence to navigate the digital world safely and responsibly. As Marists, our mission has always been one of caring, presence, and advocacy. In this digital age, our mission extends beyond the classroom and calls us to help those we work for navigate the vast and sometimes dangerous online world. We must walk together united, determined, and proactive to ensure that no child is left vulnerable in the face of online exploitation. Let this event be a moment of reflection, inspiration, and commitment. Let us listen, learn, and most importantly, act, because every child deserves to explore, learn, and connect online without fear. Together, we can build a future where every child is safe, empowered, and free. Thank you, and may this be a day of meaningful dialogue and collective action. Let us walk together and make the internet a safer place for all children. Thank you very much for being present. Thank you very much for those who are presenting today, and thank you for all those who work to protect and help children and young people throughout the world. Thank you, Brother Nino.
Thank you, Brother Ken, for your warm welcome and insightful message. The Maris Institute continues to lead by example in its commitment to safeguarding the dignity and rights of children. Now we'll move to our next segment where Ms. Agnes Reyes, a lay Maris from the Philippines, will discuss the topic of online sexual abuse and exploitation of children, or OSAIC or OSAEC, through a video presentation. By the way, our speaker, Ms. Agnes, holds a BS in Guidance and Counseling and a Master's in Theological Studies. She has a specialized training in pastoral leadership and mission management, and recently completed a diploma in safeguarding and protection of children and vulnerable adults from the Catholic Safeguarding Institute, Asia Pacific. Currently, she serves as the coordinator of the Lady Desk and is a member of the Child Protection Desk for the Maris East Asia province. In her video presentation today, she will highlight the importance of self-protection and children's protagonism or empowerment in defending their rights. Let's hear from Ms. Agnes Reyes.
Greetings to all of you. I am Agnes, and I'm going to share with you our own experience in creating and impacting an advocacy against online sexual abuse and exploitation of children. But first, let me share with you the context for which we have this advocacy. First, the Philippines was tagged by UNICEF as the online child sex capital of the world. Our country, sadly, is the global hub for child pornography. Since 2017, child pornography has become a billion-dollar industry in the Philippines, with a 2-month-old baby as the youngest recorded victim. The Philippines was also named as the social media capital of the world, where online violence or cyberbullying affecting half of the Filipino children ranging from ages 13 to 17 years old happen. Cyberbullying as one of the leading causes of the rising incidence of suicide among teens in our country. Predicaments such as this would require a whole nation approach to create an impactful awareness campaign. We are in the Philippines, we are Maris, and we cannot remain indifferent to the realities that threatens the God-given dignity of our Filipino children. For this, the Maris Brothers East Asia Province, through the Child Protection Desk headed by Brother Crispin Pibatita, FMS, connected with an organization in the country who leads other organizations in creating programs to protect children online, and that is Cyber Guardians PH. We work in collaboration with them. What happens next is also to connect ourselves with the school systems. We were able to connect with Notre Dame Educational Association of the Philippines, an organization of 63 schools, where our two Maris brothers, Brother Manny De Leon and Brother Pat Capuz, were members of the board. We presented with them programs in order to make interventions on this alarming reality. Through the assistance of Mission Cara, we were able to have these components of the program. First is the education and promoting awareness among the school administrators the guidance counselors, the principals, the prefect of disciplines, and even the presidents of the Parents Association. Second, we gathered the five key leaders of these 63 schools in order for them to be equipped with cyber leadership youth empowerment program. And from them, they will be the one to cascade it with their own peers when they go back to their schools. And the education of all students. And important, equally important, is the digital parenting, which is the education of our parents. These allowed us to create a link and educate them of the newly approved law in the Philippines, which is the RA 11937, or Republic Act 11937, which is an act punishing online sexual abuse or exploitation of children, penalizing the production, distribution, and possession and access of child sexual abuse or exploitation materials. We have reached 10,259 parents, 14,720 students, and 315 school administrators. What about the impact? I had an information given by one of the principals of our marriage schools, Mrs. Lian Rosalie, and she shared and gave a testimony that our advocacy has affected the curriculum design. They were able to make curriculum and instruction covering the online sexual abuse and exploitation of children, teaching the students to be alert about it and to take protective stances for themselves. We have a school-based research in order to indicate the attitudes of students online, and this data-driven approach maximizes the relevance and effectiveness of our advocacy to make them in cybersecurity and against online sexual abuse. School policies was also revised. The 2024 edition of the Student Handbook is now includes a formal agreement for responsible social media use. Student leaders have been empowered. They too went into community outreach and make themselves available to raise a consciousness among fellow youth to be alert in terms of the detriments or the problems that will cause abuses online. And community extensions have been maximized with students ready to make themselves available for the service of the community. We need to understand also that apart from this advocacy, the church is calling us to take actions on it. Last year, on March 2024, the Universal Guideline for the Protection of Minors by the Commission for the Protection of Minors in Rome released these guidelines. In Guideline 2, it says clearly that physical and online environments promote safety and contain appropriate safeguards to minimize the opportunity of children and vulnerable adults to be harmed. Criteria 2.1 of that guideline says a comprehensive safe environment program is implemented that addresses both physical and online risk. The church has spoken. It will only take all of us to take part in protecting our children at risk online. This is Agnes, and join us in this advocacy.
Thank you, Ms. Agnes Reyes, for that eye-opening video. It's empowering to see how children and adolescents can take an active role in protecting themselves and advocating for their rights. Next, we'll hear from Ms. Barbara Pinpao Ferreira, a lay maris from Brazil, who will introduce the Defenda-se campaign or Defend Yourself campaign. This is an initiative by the Maris Group in Brazil aimed at protecting and advocating for the rights of children and adolescents. Ms. Barbara holds a PhD and Master's in Education with specializations in child protection and domestic violence. She also holds a diploma in abuse prevention within the Latin American Church. With a degree in pedagogy, she currently serves as the manager of the Maris Center for the Defense of Childhood at the Maris Group of the Brazil Centro-Sul province. Her presentation today will encourage young people to take charge of their self-protection and stand up for their rights in the face of online risks. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Barbara Ferreira.
Olá, bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite a todos e todas. Estou em Curitiba, no Brasil, e vou falar um pouco da campanha Defenda-se. A Convenção Internacional sobre os Direitos da Criança completa 35 anos. E essa convenção é o tratado de direitos humanos mais ratificado no mundo, o que reforça o reconhecimento de crianças e adolescentes como sujeitos de direitos. Em outro documento, a ONU afirma que nenhuma forma de violência contra crianças é justificável e que toda violência pode e deve ser prevenida. Além disso, no Comentário Geral 25, reforça que os direitos de todas as crianças devem ser respeitados também no ambiente digital. Por isso, nosso diálogo hoje, vamos apresentar recursos educativos para o combate à violência sexual contra crianças e adolescentes no mundo virtual por meio desta campanha Defenda-se. A campanha foi criada em 2014, um projeto do Centro Marista de Defesa da Infância da província Marista Brasil Centro-Sul. Em seu primeiro ano, lançamos 6 vídeos educativos para a Copa do Mundo. No ano seguinte, em 2015, por meio da Fundação Gesta da província Marista Santa Maria de los Andes, a campanha foi traduzida com legendas em espanhol pela ONG Raízes no Chile, para ser veiculada na Copa América. Continuamos com as produções de uma série de vídeos educativos, todos indicados para crianças entre 4 e 12 anos, com histórias que apresentam situações em que os protagonistas têm condições reais de agir preventivamente para sua autodefesa, principalmente reconhecendo as estratégias que dificultam a ação dos agressores para procurar um adulto de sua confiança. Para atingir o maior número possível de crianças, os vídeos Defenda-se já estão disponíveis em versões com legendas em inglês, espanhol, audiodescrição e língua brasileira de sinais. Hoje, graças a um trabalho conjunto, temos a versão dublada em espanhol do vídeo Autodefesa e Segurança na Internet e o mais recente vídeo Peça Ajuda, que contou com a contribuição do Grupo de Proteção das Américas e da província mediterrânea na pesquisa, no roteiro, na construção de personagens e cenários, como também na adição dos livros digitais, e-books, com informações sobre o tema. Recentemente, o FMSI contribuiu com a tradução para o inglês do e-book baseado no vídeo Autodefesa e Segurança Online na Internet, Segurança na Internet, que está disponível para todos no site da campanha. Vamos ver o vídeo agora?
Abuela, terminé la tarea. ¿Puedo grabar un video en tu celular?
Sí, pero sin publicarlo. Los niños no tienen edad para eso. Recuerda nuestro acuerdo, solo 1 hora y luego me ayudas a rellenar las empanadas.
Hola, chicos y chicas. Yo soy Santiago y el video de hoy es para quienes juegan en internet, hacen videos, hablan con amigos o estudian, pero aún no saben cómo hacerlo sin correr riesgos. Y aquí el primer consejo. Ustedes ya deben saber que hablar con extraños en la calle no está bien, ¿verdad? En internet es lo mismo. Miren este video que grabé.
¡Ganamos! Muy bien, chicos. Lo hicimos genial.
Ah, pero solo ganamos porque yo ayudé.
¡Qué bueno que entraste en el equipo, Guerrero 09!
¿Qué tal si nos agregamos para ponernos de acuerdo en redes sociales y jugar de nuevo? Quisiera conocerlos.
Yo aún no tengo redes sociales.
¡Ay, qué pena! Entonces envíenme fotos de ustedes por este chat.
¡Ni de broma! No es seguro dar información personal a jugadores que no conozcas. Por eso, si alguien te pide que le mandes fotos, enciendas tu cámara, que los agregues en redes sociales o te invita a jugar en persona, no aceptes y avísale a un adulto de confianza sobre lo que pasó. El adulto puede ayudarte a denunciar al usuario para que ya no haga eso contigo ni con nadie más. Otro consejo genial es no usar tu nombre. Puedes escoger un alias con el nombre de un personaje que te gusta. Ahora vamos con el segundo consejo. ¿Sabías que solo los mayores de 13 años pueden tener redes sociales? Mira el video que Clara y Marcelo hicieron para nosotros.
Clara, ven a jugar conmigo.
Marcelo, ¿no ves que estoy grabando un baile? Ahora tendré que hacerlo de nuevo.
Papá dice que no tienes edad para tener redes sociales.
Ya lo sé, por eso yo no tengo. pero papá me deja grabar los videos sin publicarlos solo para jugar, y cuando tenga edad, él me va a ayudar a tener una cuenta privada.
Clara, ya llevas en el celular mucho tiempo.
Está bien, vamos a jugar, pero no voy a dejarte ganar, ¿oíste?
Y antes de terminar el video de hoy, Amin, Vía y Laura prepararon unos consejos extra. ¡Escuchen!
Vamos, Vía. Hola a todos. Además de los consejos de Santiago, también es importante tener cuidado de no dar clic a enlaces que no sepas para qué sirven. Estos pueden llenar tu celular de virus y tomar tus datos personales sin que te des cuenta. Y siempre que alguien te pida o te haga algo que te ponga triste o incómodo, ya sea alguien que conoces o no, dile a un adulto de confianza, pide ayuda y denuncia.
Bien, chicos y chicas, ¿entendieron? ¿Qué tal si ven este y otros videos de la campaña Defiéndete con tus amigos y familia?
¡Defiéndete!
A campanha Defenda-se também produz materiais educativos para adultos, um jogo de cartas sobre revelação espontânea da violência, sempre em colaboração com outras instituições e especialistas no assunto. Os maristas e a sociedade civil são sempre bem-vindos a participar dessa iniciativa, para partilhar conhecimentos a fim de responder melhor à missão institucional de defesa e proteção das crianças e adolescentes. Agradecemos a Maria Rita e a toda a equipe do FMSI pelo convite, a Mônica e aos outros maristas das equipes de proteção que produziram os vídeos aqui mencionados e aos educadores que contribuem para que essas mensagens cheguem ao maior número de crianças e adolescentes. Muito obrigada.
Thank you, Miss Barbara, for sharing the Defend the Say campaign with us. Your work highlights how children can take proactive steps to protect themselves, especially in the digital world. Now we turn to Miss Monica Llerena, a lay marist from Mexico, who will present the findings from a recent survey on teenagers and young people's perceptions of safety when interacting online. Miss Monica is a sociologist dedicated to educating children and adolescents on sexual health rights and behavior. In collaboration with the Maris province of Central Mexico, she advocates for a human rights-based approach promoting the active participation of young people in shaping their understanding and decisions regarding sexuality. Please help me welcome Miss Monica Llerena.
Muchas gracias. Pues buenas tardes, buenos días o buenas noches. En un día como hoy, dedicado a la reflexión sobre la Internet segura, es un gusto poder compartir con todas y todos ustedes algunos datos que pudimos investigar con personas jóvenes y adolescentes de una pequeña parte del instituto. Del año 2019 hasta el año pasado, desde el grupo de trabajo sobre políticas de protección de la Red Corazón Solidario Marista, que fue un espacio que hizo posible el trabajo en red entre las provincias maristas del continente americano y la provincia de Mediterránea, promovimos un cuestionario en línea para conocer qué redes sociales usan las personas adolescentes y jóvenes maristas y qué hábitos de navegación segura tienen. Nos interesaba conocer la realidad para poder identificar qué acciones de prevención era importante promover al interior de nuestras provincias. Aplicamos el cuestionario de manera virtual durante el mes de mayo de 2023 entre adolescentes y jóvenes de 13 a 17 años. Logramos la participación de 1,235 personas de 11 países: Brasil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, El Salvador, España, Estados Unidos, Guatemala, Líbano, México y Venezuela. El Centro de Defensa de la Infancia de la provincia Marista Centro Sur, de donde nos acompaña Bárbara, nos ayudó a realizar el análisis de los datos y esto fue lo que encontramos. Sobre la demografía de las personas encuestadas, en cuanto a la identidad de género, 51% fueron mujeres, 46% hombres, 1.5 personas no binarias y 1.1 prefirió no responder a esta pregunta. Sobre la diversidad cultural, del total, 5.5 personas se reconocía como afrodescendiente y 5.1 como indígena. En cuanto a las edades, un poco más de la mitad de las personas tenía 17, 15 o 14 años, mientras que un 15.4 tenía 13 años. Y aunque no lo habíamos planeado, recibimos respuestas de otras edades. ¿Qué redes sociales y juegos en línea usan los niños, las niñas, las personas jóvenes y adolescentes? Sobre las redes sociales, una cuarta parte tiene TikTok, Instagram y o WhatsApp, y un poco menos de la tercera parte, Twitter y Facebook. De estas redes sociales, las más usadas son WhatsApp, TikTok e Instagram. 8 de cada 10 usa juegos en línea, en donde están en contacto con otros jugadores. Los juegos más populares son Roblox, Call of Duty y Minecraft. ¿Y cuáles son sus hábitos de navegación? Casi una cuarta parte puede llegar a estar conectado y usar redes sociales por más de 3 horas en un mismo día. 49% navega diario en Internet y 21.3% casi todos los días. Finalmente, ¿qué riesgos han encontrado en Internet y qué hacen ante ellos? Más de la mitad ha sido contactado por una persona desconocida en Internet sin haberlo solicitado. Una cuarta parte ha recibido o ha sido etiquetado en imágenes o videos vergonzosos de sí mismo o de alguien más. 2 de cada 10 alguna vez ha recibido fotos privadas de otra persona, imágenes de genitales sin haberlo pedido y mensajes, imágenes o videos hirientes, abusivos o amenazantes. Cuando alguien les quiere hacer daño en Internet, más de la mitad lo reporta en la misma red social. Casi la mitad pide ayuda a una persona adulta de confianza. Menos de una tercera parte pide ayuda a un amigo y tan solo 1 de cada 10 lo reporta a las autoridades o bien no hace nada. ¿Qué nos dicen estos resultados? De acuerdo con Antonio Carrón, sacerdote agustino, docente del Centro de Protección del Menor de la Universidad Gregoriana, y con quien tuvimos la oportunidad de conversar sobre estos datos, esta realidad no es lejana a lo que viven el resto de los adolescentes y personas jóvenes del mundo. Los resultados nos permiten constatar que la realidad virtual, con sus virtudes y peligros, es parte de la vida cotidiana de las personas jóvenes y adolescentes. Como personas adultas debemos formarnos y formar a las niñas, los niños, adolescentes y jóvenes, porque aunque son nativos digitales, necesitan aprender a navegar de manera segura. Y esto incluye evitar entrar en contacto con contenidos violentos y con personas que quieran hacerle daño, pero también no generar adicción y relacionarse de manera saludable con la tecnología. Ojalá que esta pequeña investigación nos anime a asumir el firme compromiso, como dice el mismo Antonio, de hacer el Internet un lugar de misión, un lugar evangélico. Pues muchas gracias.
Thank you, Miss Monica, for sharing this valuable survey results. They help us understand the perspectives of young people themselves to create better protections and responses. Our next speaker, Ms. Valerie Philpott, will provide insights into building comprehensive safeguarding systems. Ms. Valerie is a qualified social worker and holds membership with the Social Work Registration Board of Ireland. She has extensive experience working with many marginalized groups within the nonprofit and statutory sectors. Valerie is passionate about child welfare, children's rights, and care reform. But taking up the position of, or before taking up the position of safeguarding advisor at Missy Ankara, she spent 6 years in Australia working in child protection. She has also worked as a social worker in Ireland in the area of fostering and adoption. Valerie has qualifications in anthropology, social policy, social work, and law. And she holds a Master of Social Work and a Master of Laws on Children's Rights and Family Law from University College Cork. In her presentation today, she will discuss how we can address online risks to create a safer environment for all children. Let's welcome Ms. Valerie Philpott.
Thank you, Brother Nino, for the introduction. And hello, everyone. I'm delighted to be here today to contribute to this very important topic. As I'm sure you all know, every child, regardless of where they live, deserves to be safe from harm, whether in their homes, schools, communities, and indeed online. In my brief time today, I'd like to share some insights on the critical issue of protecting children from online risks. Child safeguarding is not just about compliance, it's about making sure that children, wherever they are protected from all types of harm. Hence, we all have a role to play in ensuring that children's rights are upheld. This means creating and managing the online environment where abuse, neglect, and exploitation can and do occur. With access to the internet, children are exposed to new forms of risks, some of which are invisible and harder to detect. Furthermore, the increasing complexity of online spaces makes it even more critical that safeguarding of this environment is a priority. The internet is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it offers vast opportunities for learning, communication, and development. And on the other hand, it exposes children to dangers that didn't exist in previous generations. So what types of risks are children exposed to in the online world? So there's cyberbullying. So that's children are often targeted through social media, instant messaging apps like WhatsApp or gaming platforms, for example, on the games Fortnite and Roblox, which were just mentioned there. Cyberbullying can take many forms. Spreading rumors, sending threatening or hurtful messages, posting embarrassing photos or videos, or excluding children from online groups. The emotional impact of cyberbullying can be devastating and leading to anxiety, depression, and in extreme cases, self-harm and or suicide. Because bullying happens online, the child can feel as if they have nowhere to escape and the bullying can follow them everywhere. As well as cyberbullying, we have exposure to inappropriate content. So the internet can expose children to harmful content such as explicit pornography, violent material, or content promoting harmful ideologies. Even with parental controls are in place, children can accidentally come across such content. They may actively seek it out due to curiosity, or this can be shared with them through their peer network. This exposure can have long-lasting effects on their psychological and emotional development, distorting their perceptions of violence, relationships, and sexuality and body image. Furthermore, we have online grooming and exploitation. So potential perpetrators of abuse often use social media, gaming platforms, or messaging apps to establish trust with children. They might pretend to be peers or offer attention and gifts to gain the child's trust. This grooming process can take place over weeks, months, or even years before the potential perpetrator tries to manipulate or exploit the child sexually, emotionally, or financially. With the anonymity that the internet provides, abusers are able to hide their identity, making it harder for children and adults to recognize the danger until it is too late. We also have sharing personal information, otherwise known as sexting. Sexting, or the sharing of explicit images or videos, is another concerning online risk for children. Peer pressure, a desire for acceptance, or manipulation can lead children to send intimate images to others. Once these images are shared, they can be exploited, shared further, or used for blackmail or extortion. Additionally, children might unknowingly share personal details such as their location, phone number, or school, putting them at risk of exploitation or even physical harm. Lastly, we have online radicalization. The internet can also expose children to harmful ideologies and individuals attempting to radicalize young minds. Whether through social media, chat rooms, or gaming forums, there are risks that children can be drawn into extremist or violent movements. They may be recruited or influenced to adopt dangerous beliefs or even participate in illegal activities. So how can we protect our children online? Firstly, it's critical that we as adults take proactive measures to protect children online. And here are some of the practical steps that we can take. Education and digital literacy. So firstly, it is so important that we have an awareness and understanding of the risks of the online world so that we can be able to teach children how to protect themselves. We cannot and will not be around them 24/7 to supervise their activities online. We need to equip them with the skills to use digital platforms safely, handle cyberbullying, and recognize grooming. We also need to encourage open communication so that they feel comfortable coming to us with their concerns. Clear reporting mechanisms. We need to make sure children know how to report any suspicious or harmful behaviour that they encounter online. This includes on platforms themselves, as well as having accessible channels in the environments where we work with children, for example, in our schools, community service centres, and within our organisations, so that children can report online abuse easily. Collaboration with stakeholders. We can strengthen partnerships between our schools, parents, NGOs, and tech companies to create a unified approach to online child protection. We should not work in silos. We should collaborate to ensure that everyone is doing their part to keep children safe. And finally, safe platforms. We can work with tech companies and educational organisations to ensure that digital platforms are safe and child-friendly. This includes using tools such as parental controls, reporting features, and age-appropriate content filters. We can also advocate for platforms to adopt strict policies against abuse, exploitation, and harmful content. To sum up, child safeguarding is more critical than ever. As we build systems to protect children from harm, we must also consider the new emerging risks of the online world. Whilst digital technology provides countless opportunities, we must stay vigilant and proactive in addressing the dangers it brings to our children. We all have a role to play, whether it's in schools, religious communities, NGOs, or indeed in donor organisations like ourselves in Mission Cara. By strengthening our safeguarding policies and procedures, educating children, and working together across sectors, we can create a safer, more supportive environment for every child. And finally, let's ensure we give children the skills to navigate the online world themselves, so that they too are active participants in creating safer online spaces. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Valerie, for your profound insights on building strong safeguarding systems and practical steps to create a safer environment for all children. Truly, establishing effective protection frameworks is crucial in our shared effort to ensure a safe world for every child. I think we have come to the last part, but before anything else, I'd like to say once again, thank you to all our esteemed speakers for your insightful presentations and for sharing your invaluable expertise. Your contributions have deepened our understanding on online child exploitation and provided us with practical strategies to protect children in the digital world. We are truly grateful for each one of you. And of course, we are also deeply grateful to everyone joining us on this Zoom meeting. Thank you for showing your support through your online presence and for being one with us in celebrating and promoting Safer Internet Day. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Thank you so much. To conclude today's event, it's now my pleasure to introduce Brother Diego Sawatsky, who is from Colombia and is currently serving in Rome as the Assistant Director of the Secretariat for Solidarity and CMI. Please welcome Brother Diego as he closes today's event.
Muchas gracias, niño, y muchas gracias a todos por estar el día de hoy presentes. La Internet se ha convertido el día de hoy en el gran ágora donde confluyen la información, la ciencia, la cultura y el entretenimiento, brindando muchísimas posibilidades para el desarrollo del conocimiento, la interacción entre personas y culturas y la exposición a la vasta diversidad del quehacer humano. Pero asimismo, es el escenario donde aparecen quienes poseen intereses turbios e intenciones nefastas que atentan contra el bienestar y la inocencia de niños, niñas y personas vulnerables. Reconocemos que los niños y jóvenes, principales protagonistas de la misión marista, son nativos digitales, para quienes la interacción con la Internet no solo es necesaria, sino un derecho a proteger, y al cual muchos de ellos tienen hoy en día amplio acceso. Esto supone que los niños y jóvenes están expuestos tanto a las grandes ventajas como a los más peligrosos riesgos que ocurren en la gran red de redes digital. Comenzamos este evento con la invitación del hermano Ken nos hizo a participar, reconociendo que, como maristas, estamos comprometidos con la protección infantil, pero sabiendo que son los mismos niños y jóvenes quienes deben asumir un rol proactivo y protagónico en su autoprotección. Por eso, las experiencias que hemos compartido en este evento han evidenciado algunos aspectos de ese compromiso. Agnes Reyes nos compartió la estrategia que la provincia marista de Asia Suroriental generó para responder a la problemática de acoso, abuso y explotación sexual infantil en línea muy presente en las Filipinas. La asociación con otras organizaciones, la operativización de las políticas de protección a nivel provincial y local, la integración curricular de la estrategia y la modificación de los reglamentos escolares han sido claves para obtener un alto impacto, llegando a 63 escuelas, miles de estudiantes y sus familias. La presentación de Agnes nos permite apreciar cómo los jóvenes, haciendo uso de los conocimientos y habilidades desarrollados gracias a la estrategia, se han convertido en multiplicadores de información para alertar a la sociedad, especialmente a sus compañeros de clase, ante las problemáticas, convirtiéndose así en protagonistas de cambio social. El proyecto Deféndase, desarrollado por el Centro Marista de Protección de la Infancia de Brasil, al que pertenece Bárbara Pimpao, es un ejemplo elocuente de una estrategia efectiva e innovadora para promover la autodefensa de los niños contra la violencia sexual. La serie de 15 videos educativos, con lenguaje accesible y amigable, que ya cuenta con cerca de 2 millones de visualizaciones en YouTube, ha tenido un gran impacto no solo en Brasil, sino en toda Latinoamérica y otros continentes, al estar traducidos o subtitulados en español y en inglés. Destaco e invito a ver el episodio 14, que trata específicamente sobre la autodefensa y seguridad de los entornos virtuales, como ya lo vimos, y fue producido colaborativamente con el Grupo de Trabajo de Derechos y Protección de la Red Corazón Solidario Marista. Igualmente, el ejercicio investigativo llevado a cabo por este mismo grupo de trabajo y presentado por Mónica Llerena nos pone en alerta sobre la situación que enfrentan los niños y jóvenes en los entornos virtuales, quiero hacer énfasis en la invitación que Mónica nos hace a todos los maristas a conocer más a fondo esta realidad y ayudar a la sociedad a tomar conciencia de ella y proponer acciones educativas que permitan a nuestros niños y jóvenes navegar con seguridad, evitando los posibles riesgos de acoso, violencia o adicción. Mónica también nos ha invitado a comprender que la Internet es un nuevo ámbito para la misión educativa y evangelizadora marista. Debemos actuar en consecuencia. Finalmente, Valerie Philpott nos invitó a dar un paso más con la creación de sistemas globales de protección que permitan a todos identificar con claridad los diferentes tipos de riesgos presentes en el mundo virtual. Hacer explícito el impacto que la materialización de estos riesgos tendrían en el desarrollo armónico de los niños y los jóvenes, con consecuencias que comprometerían su sano crecimiento y, por tanto, su presente y su futuro. Por ello, los sistemas de protección deben permitir a nuestros niños y jóvenes desarrollar las competencias necesarias que los empodere para interactuar en línea de manera consciente, crítica y segura. Esperamos que las experiencias compartidas iluminen y den pistas de acción a todos los que tomamos parte en la vida y misión marista. Ojalá muchos de los educadores que nos han acompañado el día de hoy se sientan motivados a conocer y utilizar los recursos presentados, así como a continuar buscando más y mejores estrategias que nos permitan brindar herramientas efectivas y acompañar con respetuoso amor a los niños y jóvenes cuando se aventuran a navegar en el agitado mundo virtual. Gracias a todos por su participación y atención.
Thank you, Brother Diego, for your inspiring words. Your message has deepened our understanding and reminded us of our shared responsibility as Maris to protect and uphold the dignity of children and young people. A heartfelt thanks to all of you, to all our speakers. And of course, we also extend our heartfelt gratitude to Angel Diego, Director of the Secretariat of Solidarity, CMI, and Diego Sawatsky, his Assistant Director, as well as to Andrea Rossi, Director of FMSI, and for their leadership and ongoing collaboration. Our thanks also go to all the secretariats and the general administration for their continued support. We are equally grateful also to the Misian Cara organization for their partnership and dedication. Finally, thank you to the FMSI team, Rita, Pamela, Marta, Melissa, and others for your unwavering commitment and hard work in organizing this event. We continue to work together to protect the innocence of children and young people, empowering them to live safe, healthy, and fulfilling lives. Now, before we say goodbye, we'd like to invite you for a group photo. May we request you to turn on your Zoom camera so we can capture this moment together. Ms. Marta, please facilitate the photo opportunity.
Wait a second, just a smile. Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we hope to see you again in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And
Thank you,
goodbye.
Brother Niño.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
all.
everyone.
Obrigada.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Gracias.
Bye.
Bye.
Gracias.
Bye.